I don't know. I don't get it, but it's not. I just threw a tissue over there.
You sure did.
I did it.
Some things just never change.
Hey dolls, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with another Fingerdoo review. My illegitimate drag daughter, Wilhelmina Boxfart, is joining me today to review all of Canada versus the World.
Season 2.
That's right. It was the second offering, and I wasn't sure. I didn't like the first one. Did you like the first season?
I liked the first season because it was just like the season of Raja, and I really got to enjoy Raja, and it just felt like a showcase for Raja's talent. So
yeah, yay for Raja. Well done. I think she deserves a win. I really like her as a queen, but it just was a boring season. So this season for me was a little. I just wasn't trusting it out of the gate, and I have to say, when it was all said and done, I really enjoyed this season. There were a couple of queens I didn't expect to see, a couple of queens I've never heard of before because, well, I just don't watch everything. But there were also a couple of queens I knew and fell back in love with. So it was really, I think, a very successful season this year. What was your overall opinion of the season?
My opinion of the season is that it was good. It just wasn't that memorable.
Well, let's talk about the queens. From Canada, we had Lemon. This was her third Drag Race appearance because she was on season 2 of Canada's Drag Race.
Season 1 of Canada?
Was it 1? I thought it was 2, but one of the early ones.
No, she was on Canada 3.
Sweet beast.
Sweet beast.
Season 3. Well, anyway, either way, she got kicked off first. And then she was on UK versus the World and got kicked off first.
She didn't get kicked off first on Canada.
I really enjoyed her, but I didn't see her do enough. So by the time it rolled around to Canada versus the World, I thought, well, she just had a poor showing on UK versus the World. Why come back again? But I was so glad she did, because I do like her as a queen, and I really appreciated having some time to see her do stuff.
Yeah, it took me a while on Lemon's original season to really fall in love with her, but as soon as she did that toddlers in tiaras and looked like a giant 6-year-old dressed up to look like a whorish 16-year-old.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you do have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Because I felt that she got a bit shafted by the edit, I felt. Because she was saying mean things in the confessional, but then they would cut off the part where she's laughing at her mean things. So.
But she also, I think there's a level of her age in that first season, that season 3, where, it's 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago maybe. But there's been a lot of growing since then, and I feel like she could have been a little juvenile in her opinions of people. Also, seeing herself not do well on the seasons that she was on and hearing what she had to say, I think she took all of that in and processed it, and it made her a much more user-friendly queen for this season.
Yeah, I was very excited to see Lemon, because I think she did get the shaft on UK versus the World, and I was so excited to see more of Lemon, because at that point I'd fallen in love. By the time I fell in love with her on Canada, it was too late.
Yeah.
I fell in love and then she left.
From Canada that I was excited to see, because I thought, oh, here she goes. She's going to get a chance to do what she does best. Tynomi Banks. Now, Tynomi Banks came into Drag Race with a reputation among the queens, because the thing with Tynomi Banks is she started dancing backup for queens, like, before she was even 20. And when I met Tynomi Banks, she wasn't doing drag, so I've never met her as a drag queen. But I really like her work aesthetic. She's a proper professional. But who cares? You know what I mean? Like, when you put her into a contest, or at least on Canada's Drag Race, it's not her thing. It's not her forte. She didn't do well in her first season. She certainly isn't. She didn't do anything to improve upon it this season. I was really disappointed with her a lot this season.
Yeah, I was excited to see her again, because I'd heard really good things before she showed up on Canada's Drag Race. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this queen who keeps hitting on my partner on Grindr, but that's fine. So I was ready to have her redemption season, and it just wasn't. There was just no redemption. I'm like, do you just not like doing this? Because you don't look like you're having any fun.
And she was on season 1. Like, she's had some time to kind of study the tape. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like she didn't really. She came back and did almost exactly the same stuff she was doing before. She had some nicer outfits, although a lot of her outfits were nice ideas, but the execution wasn't great.
Yeah.
like cheap fabrics or bad fit. That one skirt she wore down the runway that was the hobble skirt, although it was a beautiful look and that wig was her best wig, who cares? Yeah,
you can't walk.
By the time you actually got to the end of the runway, I'd lost interest. I'd gone for lunch. We're done.
I bet Tainomi was feeling a little bit better about this season's outfits until the other queens started pulling their rhinestone-encrusted creations out of their dress bags.
Well, she had a lot of competition visually. I mean, the third Canadian queen, Winalicious.
What? You're not a fan of Miss Fiercealicious?
No, I'm not at all. And you know what? She did nothing to improve that. But the thing was this year, her wardrobe was impeccable. Stuff that I've seen since the series, I've seen the creators of her looks post on Instagram, and she had some really good people working for her. And I don't know if they did it for free or did it because she would wear it well on TV. Because let's face it,
so that she would stop talking to them.
Regardless of whether you like Fiercealicious or not, if you're a designer and you make clothing, she's not going to hurt your clothing line by wearing it. She's a gorgeous queen. But who cares? You know, it's been a year or two since she was winding her way through the TV set. And so I was expecting maybe a little growth, or at least some growth from reflection on seeing what it was shown.
No, I was not, because the last thing I saw her on was Traders Canada. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to see Fiercealicious in a different environment.
Yeah.
See if it brings out the best in her.
Spoiler alert, it did not. You know, the other thing that bothers me about Fiercealicious is she's, you know, the petulant child of season 2 of Canada versus World, but she's 28. I keep thinking she's like 24, at worst 25.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
Her behavior is completely
understandable. It's not acceptable, but it's okay, she's 22.
No,
you can
no,
dismiss it. Yeah. 28, somebody needs to start learning from these hard life lessons of her not getting what she wants, because she clearly, when she doesn't get what she wants, she just pouts. Yeah. The other people that were there that I thought were definitely going to bring in the wardrobe were all three of the American queens.
Yeah.
We had, Eureka, who is the queen of spectacular drag.
I was so excited
I really liked
Eureka back.
I really like her. I was excited to see her back. And then she was a pill.
Yeah.
I kept going, there's something wrong with Eureka. There's something wrong with her.
The whole time, like,
she's not a happy camper. She's having some issues.
Where's the fun?
Then right about the time that she was sent home, she had a bit of a breakdown in Untucked and told the queens that, you know, she'd been going through a lot of detoxing. She's clean and sober, good for her. But she also is transitioning. Again, Eureka transitioned once. She was a trans female, but then transitioned back. And then now she's doing it again. And it just makes me think, like, there's a lot going on there. And if she was drinking as well, she's not really getting in touch with anything. And
Yeah. Because, you know, those hormones will sometimes do a number to your brain as your body's adjusting to them. And I'm like, this seems like more than just hormones going on. So finding out she was struggling with being newly sober made it all make a lot more sense. But I still was disappointed that we didn't get the full Eureka experience that I wanted.
Yeah. Kennedy Davenport, another queen with spectacular wardrobe, but it's unnecessary, it's over the top, and I love it. And I don't think Kennedy disappointed at all this season.
I was very excited to see Kennedy Davenport back.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she's going to bring the looks, but, you know, she's going to surprise you in the challenges. She's a funny
She's
queen.
a fearless, funny queen, and she puts herself into those, they had that one challenge right out of the gate, like episode 2 or 3, the hole, and she killed it. I thought she also did an incredible job during the roast challenge, where they, the reading challenge, where they had to...
the reading battles.
The reading battles, that's what it was. Yeah, they sleep on Kennedy every season, and she kills it. She doesn't win, but she kills it. And then the last queen from America that I knew was bringing the wardrobe was Alexis Mateo.
Mateo. Well,
this is the best she's ever looked.
She left her BAMs at home, which was good because
they got a little tiring.
I don't have enough BAMs. Scared me every time.
Yeah. I really like Alexis Mateo, but out of the gate, I don't know what was going on. I don't know if someone called her fat or something during the craft service or something. But she just seemed really mean out of the gate.
Yeah, she was kind of grumpy. Like,
she got a great sense of humor, and later in the episode, in the season, like she was still being mean, but laughing more, and you could see the humor in what she was saying. But at the beginning, they were giving her the lemon at it, no laugh after the shade, you know.
But even when she wasn't doing the confessionals, I was kind of getting the feeling it's like, oh, you think you've won this?
Yeah.
Like the first episode, she's like, well, I don't understand why anyone else is still here, because I'm just here to take the crown and have fun with my friend Kennedy.
Yeah, like Kennedy's not there for the crown.
Yeah. Rude.
But I have to say, regardless of how she kind of came off at the first, or even if she stayed that way for some through the whole season, I really like Alexis, and it's nice to see her, and she's really a good queen. And I thought her runway, she's never looked better. This
Her
was
runways must have,
impeccable.
I don't know what her extra baggage charge was, but
Wow,
with the
it was
amount of
worth it.
stones on every single piece of clothing that she had. Impeccable. Absolutely
That
gorgeous.
that first outfit, the purple feather thing. Oy vey. Oh, God.
Ugh.
I don't like that pop-up look, because the ones I've seen on Drag Race are a little, they're just a little graphic.
Yeah.
But this one, just feathers, just all purple feather, no pattern, no message, nothing. It was just a true peacock feather tail. Boom.
The message
pop.
was dead birds.
Yeah, suck on this was the message.
Take that, birds.
And then, of course, we had from Britain, my favorite, Cheryl Hole. I'm sorry. I love Cheryl. I love her. I'm sorry she didn't do better this season, but she made top 4.
Yep.
And I think she deserved that, at least.
I'm excited to see Miss Cheryl Sans.
There were a few things that surprised me. She made a comment that after her last showing on Drag Race, which was UK versus the world, she had a bit of a breakdown, or at least it affected her in a sense where she didn't think she was going to do drag anymore. Also, her grandmother had died at the time she got pregnant. So there was a lot of
drag inspiration.
A lot of like sad news all at once. And then of course LaFille. Now
LaFille,
I
so excited
love
to see.
LaFille. She is so calming and genuine, and I think she's a real person when she's really connecting with people. Like she's not just there for lip service and that, but she also has a great aesthetic. Being Chinese and wanting to represent Chinese culture in an represented society, I think is fabulous. And I think some of her wardrobe was spectacular. The dragon. The cute little dragon. She could have made that better. There could have been more to it, but for what it was, I thought it was delicious. Also, her zero footprint costume making.
Yeah.
I admire that, but gee whiz. You spent a lot of time making an ugly costume.
Yeah. Sometimes when you make something out of garbage, you've made garbage.
Yeah.
And compared to what a lot of the queens were bringing, it was clear that LaFille had tried and had, wanted to step up her game, but still was playing a different game than everyone else. So her outfits kind of stood out for that reason.
But I really love LaFille, and I thought even with the girl group challenge, where she kind of took over and helped choreograph her group, she was really generous with her time with the other two in her group, and I really like her. I was sorry to see her go.
Yeah, I was very excited to see her there. I kind of love her vibe, where she's like, in and out of drag, my pronouns are he, them, and I'm not trying to be a woman, I'm just trying to celebrate the feminine side of my manhood.
The androgyny of it all. Yeah, and so she should. I think, I don't think there's anything about LaFille that I don't like. So, except maybe her drag, she could try harder with her drag. I get it, but that's all good for what you do, but you're now competing with other queens who don't do that.
Yeah.
There's a reason they don't do that.
Found. Look what I found.
No, you didn't.
Look at ugly outfit.
No.
I found this in the garbage.
Leave it.
I found this right in the garbage. I call your living room the garbage.
That's a cute wig. This brings us to the last queen of this season, La Kahana, who was she season 1 of France?
She was season 1 of France.
I watched season 1 of France. I do not remember, but it's also because she got pork chop there too. Bless her heart. Now, I want to say I really like the way Kahana paints her face. Like there's something about her aesthetic. It's very 1920s.
But there wasn't a lot of good light.
But that's it. I hated everything she wore. Everything she wore looked like she was trying to create drag while being stranded on a desert island.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it was like, oh, I'll just take that bit of sail and wrap it in my head for hair. Or nothing really fit her. And then when she did her lip sync, nothing stayed where it was supposed to. And
the corset looked weird.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see her there because I did remember her from her season of Drag Race France. And she seemed to be terrified anytime she was performing. And the only thing I remember was fire. She was
that's
like,
right.
I'm going to set
That's
some
right.
fire to this.
She was the one who always,
memorable, but not for her drag.
Well, clearly not for me.
Yeah.
I also want to take this moment now to mention how innovative Canada's Drag Race is compared to Drag Race. Because it's not RuPaul's Drag Race, it's Canada's Drag Race. I feel like we take more liberties in Canada with the format of the show. This year we had the Snatch Game musical.
Reality show spoof, which was fun.
That was so much fun, the whole, yeah.
The thing I like about Canada's Drag Race is they definitely are trying new things. And they don't always work, but it's always something new and different.
Like the beaver was still working, so they had that back.
And
that was
beaver.
fun.
That was
nice.
nice.
At least they had a golden beaver this time. Yes.
My favorite challenge, definitely the reading battle.
Yeah.
Which I thought Lemon did such a good job in that. I
thought
really
Lemon was going to win.
That she didn't win.
And I'm surprised Kennedy did. Not that Kennedy didn't do a great job, and not that I don't enjoy Kennedy, but I felt Lemon was more spontaneous, whereas Kennedy, I think, she knew she was coughing that wig off her head.
Yeah, Lemon's clapbacks were impeccable. Her timing was amazing. Her jokes were really funny. Kennedy and Alexis were just this bizarre. I had no idea what was going on. It was so funny. It stopped being a roast battle very early on.
Yeah, and the whole thing about who was balder.
It was too funny. They were ridiculous, and I was, not loving Alexis by that point in the season. So I really enjoyed that one. You know what other challenge I really liked? And they've done a version of this before when they do a mini challenge, they do a photo shoot, and then they throw things at them, or they blow a fan at them, or they get them wet.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, we've seen this before. This is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And even the queens were like, okay, we're just lip syncing. This isn't that hard. And then it was like,
everything.
A 10 on the hurricane scale, and then like bodies, ridiculously huge things were flying at them.
Yeah.
It made me laugh so hard.
There was that one mini challenge where they had to do the CGI, but then they never did anything with it. What was that all about?
That was one of my least favorite challenges because there was no point to it. Did you just want to make them look stupid? I mean, you can do that. You just ask them to put on quick drag. So instead they put on...
Or their boy clothes. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I did enjoy certain performances in certain challenges.
Yes,
The very first episode when they split up the queens into girl groups.
Oh, I love that. I love that it was first, too. We could get everybody in
Let's get everyone in on this.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the tongue pop group, which was Cheryl, Lemon, and Kennedy.
Yeah. They killed it. Yeah.
They were so good. Their lyrics were good. Their choreo was good. Their performance was good. It was top notch. I really enjoyed the send up of the mole / traitors.
Yeah. That was fun. That was fun.
Except I didn't. It was one of the things where I enjoyed individual performances a lot more than the whole thing. Lemon was ridiculous.
She killed that.
Her character of the gay guy, and she did it in a very John Waters. Just very stupid and fun.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Cheryl, of course.
Cheryl was great. Cheryl let us know.
I heard that she had a fever that day. She was under the weather and still killed it.
She did fantastic. Yeah, Cheryl was playing the super fan, and you know who she was. She didn't. She wasn't like, "Hi, I'm playing the super fan."
This is the one for me though, where
nailed it.
Tainomi, the minute she even said what character she's doing, I was like, ugh.
I thought it was a cakewalk.
I thought she was going to be a fail right out of the gate. I just knew, I think that Tainomi Banks is, I think you've said it, where she seems more fun out of drag than in. Yeah. The one thing about the whole that I was amazed at was that Lisa Renna was in it, because she was the guest judge that week. But I also couldn't tell if the queens knew she was there, because when she walked in, I couldn't tell if they were acting surprised, or if they were like, because Cheryl looked like she was about to lose her stuff, And then for Lisa after, during the judgment of the queens, saying, well, I didn't know what was going on. I went back to my hotel room and read my notes. It was like, oh, you all did a great job.
Yeah.
I didn't think...
It's like, I didn't realize you were all being characters.
So this is who you are, Lisa Renna. You just show up places and don't read nothing.
It's like, I just thought you were being weird. And then I went back and I read what I was supposed to do. And I was like, oh. You know what? I had a problem with the Rusical. So when Snatch Game the Rusical, one of those ideas that I think sounded better on paper.
Yes.
And then in execution, it didn't really work because the queens had their characters, but then they were also lip syncing to themselves singing.
Like, I'm Alexis and I'm doing Snatch Game, but she was dressed as this character
Baby
anyway.
Ron DeSantis.
What was
choices.
that? What
terrible
was that?
choice.
Yeah, terrible.
Terrible idea.
Yeah.
Cheryl's Queen Victoria was
So
good.
funny.
The
Those
eyebrows were great.
eyebrows. Oh.
But I would have liked it more in a Snatch Game than in
In a
this.
proper Snatch Game, I would like to see what she did. Because that song, she didn't write it.
No.
She just sang it. Like, so what am I watching? Like,
And then even the Snatch Game parts, I was like, well, did you write this? Is this all scripted?
No,
or
it's all. It seemed all
is this
scripted.
off the cuff? So
Yeah.
it was weird. I like that they tried it. It was a fun new idea.
It was a nice way to do Snatch Game where a lot of these queens feel looking like the person is enough. So here's an opportunity to look like the person. We're giving you all this other stuff to do. It doesn't matter how you do it. We want you to look like the person. But I'd like to see them try it again.
I'd like to see them try it again, too, because, I mean, certainly the Snatch Game of Love, which is another alternate Snatch Game, most of the time I don't like it. But every now and then, there's a really good performance, or everyone steps up, or we've got two Liberace's dueling it out.
Which is hilarious.
Something fun happens.
Yeah.
So maybe, this was a case of, we tried, and like the Rusical songs weren't super catchy or memorable.
No, I don't really remember, but they were. It was a fun thing to watch.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing as a whole. If there had been more queens involved, it would have been too long. I have to say, I'm glad they had a Miss Congeniality, but I thought it was very funny that Eureka wanted to win it and told them all.
Yeah, me.
It wasn't very congenial.
But that was very much her the whole season. She's in the bottom. She's like,
I don't want to lip sync.
I don't want to lip sync.
I don't care to lip sync today.
I don't want to do that.
Oh, is that how we're doing it?
I'm not interested in this.
Yeah, there were a few pillish moments with Eureka that I felt were necessary, but she still won Miss Congeniality.
Yeah.
Although they didn't win, Kennedy and Alexis were the big money makers outside of Lemon and Eureka. Alexis got 12,500, and then Kennedy got 10. And then the next person that won any money was Fierce Delicious at $2,000. She won one of the mini challenges, and that's it. Everyone else, nothing. We really only had 6 lip syncs for the season. How did they stack up for you?
Well, when I was kind of going through my notes and rewatching everything to get ready for this, I was like, okay, I'm going to keep track of what my favorite lip syncs are. And then I did not write down anything until the finale.
Finale, yeah.
And
those were good lip syncs.
It was Kennedy and Lemon doing Kezia's Hideaway. I was like, that was one of the best lip syncs of the season and of like a lot of the franchises. They were just really
that was a really good lip sync for Lemon too. I felt she legitimately won. I didn't feel like it was like, oh, Kennedy's getting the short end here. Lemon really pulled it out for that. Yeah,
and it wasn't just the big shimmery Oscar the Grouch coat, but as soon as that started moving, I was mesmerized.
And then we had Alexis and Cheryl, and Alexis won that one, but they did a great job too. I love watching Cheryl lip sync. She's fun.
I thought Cheryl kind of did a better job, but again, I was like, this is a finale.
Yeah, I agree with you a little there.
I was surprised. Like a finale lip sync.
No, the other one was more. But then that left Alexis and Lemon.
And then that lip sync was kind of...
It wasn't as good as the one that she had with Kennedy. Maybe she was tired, but maybe they were both a little tired by then.
I was like, it was a weird song for the final one. I was like, I love some Celine, but it was okay.
Yeah.
This is the lip sync that's going to stick in everyone's mind. This is the final one. I was like, oh, I'll just watch the Kennedy Lemon one again.
Yeah.
That was way better. Yeah. But otherwise, throughout the season, like, Fierce had a really... When she needed to step it up, she stepped it up.
That was the one she was kind of angry about anyway, and then didn't she say, "Oh, I don't want to lip sync"?
She's like, "I don't want to lip sync," and then turns out.
And then she apparently got a little nose side of joke. Why did you put me up? It's like, did you not hear yourself?
You said you want to lip sync,
but
improve yourself. Yeah. So I thought that was really good, but then a lot of the other ones, I was like, I didn't expect Lakahena to do that well.
No.
The Phil, I kind of wanted to do a little bit better.
I wish she had done better, but I wasn't surely going to win.
Even Eureka, like, okay, we've seen this high kick.
Yeah.
I've never seen the high kick again.
It just looks like it doesn't look graceful. It looks like it hurts her to do it. Or it's like, oh!
It looks like someone dared her.
Yeah.
It looks like Mary Catherine Gallagher put on a lot of weight. It was like,
yeah.
Look what I can do. Superstar.
Yeah, it looks like she's kicking through a door as opposed to just kicking. It's weird. I think the best thing about this was probably the fashion. And I just want to say, Lemon killed that runway.
She killed that
first
runway.
Dress she wore, that yellow gown. Oh.
Gorgeous.
And then I just feel like everything she wore after that. She wore that green thing for the Mother Earth, Mother Nature thing.
Oh, yeah, the purple kush.
Gorgeous. And I like that she wasn't always in yellow.
She was always in yellow.
She did wear it enough, but she also had some options. Her Susan Boyle in the Rusical was so funny. They brought back last year's winner, Raja O'Hara, who looked great, by the way. I love the whole Bob Ross wig and everything that she had.
The Bob Ross fro was just,
And then I loved that she, while she was talking to them, was painting them. And clearly was, like, but I mean, it was just a paint sketch. Like, it was, but I thought for the minimal amount, like, she must have spent, what, 15, 20 minutes on each queen?
Shocked.
It was impressive. It was impressive. And then for the actual finale judging, they had big Photoshop posters that clearly were not the same thing.
And I just like I hate it when they have to talk to their young selves or cry over Tic Tac and
it's terrible.
All that sort of stuff. So at least this was mixing it up. That the queens got to come out and something regal and get painted and look fabulous
and the back and forth that they all had. It was a nice way to end the season. I thought. I thought the right queen won. Would I have been upset if Alexis or Kennedy had won? No. In fact, I would have been happy if Kennedy or Alexis won because I think they both have kicked that can enough where they deserve a win sometime. And I think this is the best showing that Alexis has had in a contest for sure. Kennedy, I think, is solid. Kennedy does that good a job all the time. And either she needs to punch it up a bit or people need to accept that this is how she sells it. Yeah, and because it does come off a little lackadaisical. Well, but that's in the workroom. I wouldn't think that would affect her runway interaction.
Anytime she's performing, she's on. She turns it on when she needs to.
I'm always surprised when she's dancing too because she is so quiet and relaxed, and all of a sudden, bam! It's like whoa. I like that moment she had during the. Was it the musical choreography where she's like, I get sick and tired of people who know you can dance think you are a dancer. Yeah. And it's true. It's like, I don't know what a pas de deux is, but I could do this.
I don't do choreo, but I just let the music move me. I don't know if I would have been happy if Alexis had won.
But a lot of people felt she was very pillish this season, and I get that. Yeah. But I do like Alexis, so I think I cut her a lot of slack through this season just because she was pillish, but I also feel like there was the last time she was on Drag Race too, I felt she had kind of like, she seemed to get up against a couple of queens. Yeah. And I feel like there's definitely a level of she's not going to play nice just because the cameras are rolling. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes you have to play nice. Sometimes. Just pretend you're being nice and then let yourself do whatever you need to do later.
No, I have to say I was thrilled that Lemon won. Because she was my pick right from the beginning.
I love her.
I also like the way she played the game. Yes. She's like, I wanna play against the best. So
when she could have saved. She gave Kennedy that golden beaver, and she could have got rid of her right there.
Yeah, she could have kept Fierce Delicious around, and she didn't because she's like, no, I don't think you're the best. I wanted to go up against the best.
And then she said as much in the confessional and then laughed after. Then she said, "Was you going to kill me?"
Laughed. And the other thing with Lemon, as opposed to Alexis I felt was like, it's my time. Just give me a crown. I'm here.
She's very entitled and expected.
You're going to like it. Whereas Lemon was like, I think it's my time. I'm working really hard for this. Yeah. But it's my time, and I'm going to put in the work, and I'm working really hard.
If this is my time, I'm putting in the work. If it isn't, well, I'm putting in the work.
It was a lot of I'm gonna make the most of this because I think I deserve this. So I think I deserve this. So I'm going to prove that I deserve it. And that was the difference between her and Alexis for me. And good job, little Lemon. Good job.
So there you go. There you have it. That is our take on Canada vs. World Season 2. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel if you have not. We have links down below for ways to support the Fingerdoo review with joining the Patreon family or getting your Wilma merch on the Redbubble store or even just dropping a tip or two. But the best way to support the Fingerdoo review is to leave a message. Let me know what you thought. How did you like Season 2 of Canada vs. the World? Who was your favorite queen? Were you happy Lemon won? Were you upset? Who would you like to see on Canada vs. the World 3? Shut your face.
Shut your face.
Leave us a message down below. And until next time, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having.
Miss us! Mwah! Seriously.
Seriously?
I feel badly about the reading challenge because all of their looks were runway looks. They actually did a runway, and Fierce got quite upset about the fact they didn't show the runway. Because her outfit with the hair and top hat, it was stunning, but it actually did more on, like, it was meant to look like she was cut in half. She had this whole visual illusion of being cut in half. Well, you couldn't stand her standing there. Yeah, you couldn't, like, she couldn't do it for the challenge, but she had it in the runway, apparently. And
So is that why she screwed up in the...
I don't know. But she looked sour out of the gate. But I don't think that they
I think
knew...
that's just her default face, though. That's
that stank face?
Yeah. The thing with Fierce is, like, her voice sounds whiny to me, and that's not her fault. That's just how she sounds.
Yeah.
And then
it is her fault. That's a choice. I'm sure a lot of people have said to Fierce, why do you whine all the time? You're not a Kardashian.
You look
Pick it up.
gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you look gorgeous.
I think she thinks she's a Kardashian. Fierce.
Has she not seen her bum?
friend.
She doesn't have a bum. You can't be a Kardashian without a bum. How does she sit down?
I don't think she'd want a big bum. I think she is happy that she has that tiny little one.
Well, she better watch out.
Get
The bum
cursed.
fairy's going to come and visit you in the night. Get a nice little bustle.
Is that what happened to you?
The bum fairy?
Yeah, is that what happened to you?
No, that was just Larry. He looks like a bum.
And he's a total fairy.
Yeah, he's a total fairy.
But that ain't no magic wand he's waving at you.
It certainly is not.
No,
It certainly is not.
no.
Certainly it's not. Yeah.
No. Barf.
Barf.